Hello and welcome, friends. I hope everybody has a great day so far. If you are new here, welcome. And if you're back, welcome back. I greatly appreciate all of the ongoing support. This is my channel, Dragonsjewel Creative Gems, and I'm Tegan, and I'm just gonna get all that wonderful YouTubey stuff out of the way first. If you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, please consider doing so. It's just down below. If you like the content that you see, don't forget to hit that like button. And of course, any love, comment, suggestions, all those wonderful things, there's that section down below as well. Today we are going to be doing a good old whip and chat, and that just stands for work in progress, and I chat and catch everybody up. Now I know I had to push things back a week just because of an event, and I was away, and getting a video just wasn't going to happen. So I pushed back, so that's more like a 3-week catch up this time around, but we're going to get back on track here. So we are going back to about the end of July here. We're already, today is August 15th. It's Thursday night. I've done the usual, finished up my dinner with the family, and I'm sneaking this little whip and chat in before the kid goes down for the night. So let's catch us up while I get going here. I'm working on Rainbow edition here from Paint Gem. So here is the little image I decided to pull out and work on. Just a small little one. I finished up my pastry panda, so you guys probably saw that completion post-review video already. So I haven't started anything big just yet. So I wouldn't mind finishing up this little Paint Gem kit, because I originally started this Rainbow Edition when I was away in Nova Scotia. Got a couple of done. The summer has just been so crazy, so busy. I haven't had much of a chance to actually work on diamond painting very much. So yeah, I'm probably gonna just work on getting this kit done right now. So that's what I decided to pull out and work on. So yeah, let's catch up here. As July was kind of coming to an end, and we had just kind of gotten back from Nova Scotia, we had a lot of our specialized services had requested meetings and stuff and sessions, so I had managed to get a couple of those in. One that we did have was a speech one in this little stint here, and that one I think went really well. Kind of coming to a close with specialized services, as it's been 2 years, and FSCD is probably not going to be renewing it because there's nothing new to work on, and they've already given us a ton of strategies. So it's just going to be a lot of us working with him, using those strategies, and hoping to see some more progress kind of happen and that kind of thing. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at with specialized services. Now they technically have this month of August here to fit us in, but that may not happen. So a lot of them kind of just are kind of on a consult basis now and reach out if I have any questions. And of course they're going to kind of have a list of strategies and kind of suggestion type things drawn up as a reference material, that kind of thing. So yeah, there's that's going to be slowing down for us, which is both kind of relief in some ways, because that means we won't be coming into the home anymore, so I can kind of won't have to worry about that as much, but it's more us doing one-to-ones hands-on. So yeah, just kind of building that into our schedule and remembering to kind of keep it consistent. That'll kind of be the goal. with that going forward and continuing to kind of work on everything that we have been working on with them, just at our own kind of schedule, so to speak, without worrying about anybody else. Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. The last speech session, I was able to catch up on some words that he was saying out east and some stuff like that, and so that was really good, just kind of catching them up on that kind of thing. And so he's had some pretty good progress, but I mean, we're still not where we want to be, still not where we need to be, but yeah, it is what it is. Other than that, you guys probably remember me talking about the one dog that we have left. She's about 12 years old now, so she's no spring chicken anymore. She's my German Shepherd Husky, and we've been experiencing some kind of weakness in her back legs and all of that. Her vet appointment is not necessarily anything terrible that came out of that. It was just follow-up. She got all of her shots are up to date again, and of course they did some blood work. All that came back good. There were no concerns with her blood work because she had a geriatric panel done because of her age. So they figure what's going on with her back leg is a combination of arthritis and a degenerative kind of thing that just happens when dogs get older, which there's not really much you can do about that side of things. So it's just kind of supporting that for her, knowing that about her back leg. So that'll probably just mean no crazy long hikes or walks that we used to do with her. Taking it a little bit easier on her joints. Supporting her with ways to get around just a little bit easier. So like we've noticed it's harder for her to jump up into the vehicle, so we've bought a little kind of portable folding pet ramp that we can just tuck into the back of the SUV and then pull it out, unfold it, and then she can start using that to get in and out instead of having to jump. Just kind of being a little bit easier on those old joints. So yeah, just kind of making a couple little adjustments like that for her. They did give her a kind of like an anti-inflammatory med just for kind of the stiff, her being stiff when she gets up and kind of thing. So just kind of making that a little bit easier on her. They said if we're going to stay on it the long term, then we probably want to do follow-ups they said probably every like 6 months, just check blood work, make sure everything's good with her kidney and liver. Because sometimes when you're on those type of meds, it's a little bit harder on those organs for them. So just kind of keeping an eye on that a little bit closer would be something that she would recommend if we stay on them long term. Right now, we've been on them for about probably 2 weeks. Probably gonna get a renewal here just to see how that goes and see if we notice a difference or not with her being on them. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at with her. It's just a combination of arthritis and degeneration in her kind of joints and stuff like that. So it's old dog stuff. Showing signs of her age now. But yeah, it's at least it's nothing major or nothing overly serious causing it, so nothing that's going to require, you know, her needing a surgery or anything like that. So that's of course a positive, because you never know. So yeah, that's the update with her. And then of course, once that appointment was over, we were gearing up to go to Fragapalooza, which is a 4-day non-stop gaming convention. Basically, it's a big LAN party, so you buy your spot or your seat, which is like a 4-foot table, or a 4-foot out of a 8-foot table kind of space that you end up getting. You set up whatever system you game on, so that could be a console, a PC, or whatever system you have that you want to play around. You can bring more than one system if you want. Some people do that. And then of course, yeah, you play all hours of the day and night and kind of reach out to other players and do co-op games and multiplayer games together and stuff like that. There's tournaments that go on, there's prizes, all of that. The Extra Life team is there. They're a team that fundraise for our local children's hospitals, so they're usually there as well, kind of representing that, because they also put on events that are gaming related to help raise money, so they kind of talk about those games as well while they're there. We know one of the ladies who organizes it pretty well, and of course there's always a Miracle Treat Day that falls around Fragga time, so we usually end up getting a blizzard for Miracle Treat Day, and then we get together with the Extra Life gang and we take a picture, just kind of saying that we support our local charity. We've spent some time, or we bought this blizzard and the money went towards this charity kind of thing. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. So of course we did that like we normally do. So I didn't do any tournaments. Didn't do anything crazy. I didn't even really do much of the way in the contests that they put on, because they'll do different contests like rock, paper, scissors, and paper airplanes. I was just really happy to be there and having time to game without being disturbed or interrupted or having to worry about getting up with our son or making sure he's not getting into trouble or not staying up too late so that, I can be up with him, that kind of thing. So I really just kind of got into enjoying gaming this time around. I mostly played a game called Coral Island, which is a kind of a farming life sim type game, very similar to like a Stardew Valley. You're a character, you end up taking over this little kind of rundown farm, and you cut down trees and rocks and whatever, and kind of start growing some crops and turning it into an actual functional kind of little farm. You can go around, you get to know the towns, chat with the townspeople in the area, that sort of thing. And of course, each of these little games has their own little story within the town. Like Stardew Valley has a completely separate story than Coral Island, obviously. Different bad guys, so to speak, that kind of prevent the community from being what they want to be, that kind of thing. Yeah, so there's that game. And so aside from kind of doing the farming sim side of it, a lot of them also will have where you have a fishing aspect. So you'll go to like their little bodies of water in the game and do some fishing, and you can catch fish and you can sell them. You can use them to do cooking and whatever else. There's also a mining aspect as well to a lot of these games, so then they usually have some sort of like cave or mine shaft or something that you go and you mine ore to help upgrade your tools and fight monsters and stuff like that. And so it's, the thing I love about those types of games is there's a variety. If you get bored of the cropping side and running the farm and going cutting down trees to upgrade everything that way, you can go and you can kill some monsters and get some mining of some ore to upgrade your kind of your tools. If you want, you can just run around and kind of harvest things from the land. Like usually there's kind of fruits or nuts or veggies that kind of grow sporadically all over the map in different places. So you can kind of go run around and try to find those. You can chat with townspeople if that's kind of what you feel like. So they're nice because there's a variety. You're not stuck doing one type of task over and over and over. Well, yes, you do end up doing altogether the tasks over and over in time just to kind of get where you need to be, but you can kind of bounce around, so it's not just one task. You can kind of split it up. So they're nice in that sense. And they're kind of just an easy, chill game to play for a lot of people. So yeah, I got hooked playing that for quite a bit. And then the other game that I got hooked playing this time around is one called Dinosaur Fossil Hunter. And that one is where you're an anthropologist and you're going to excavation sites and you're digging up dinosaur, or you're trying to dig up and find and dig up dinosaur fossils. So you have a bunch of different equipment that you use for that. You go to these sites, you basically section them off, you start kind of digging the sand, using your equipment on the rocks to find out if they're just a rock or if there's a fossil being picked up in it. Then you collect them, you plaster them, you send them off to the museum. Then the other side of the game is you go to the museum, you pull them out of kind of their delivery or storage area and you clean them and prep them and assemble the actual dinosaur when you find all the bones, and then you kind of set up the exhibit for it. So that was a super fun game. I got into that because once again you could kind of do one thing. Once you kind of got bored or wanting to kind of do the other side of it, you could kind of bounce between the different tasks. And it was just really interesting. It was kind of cool to pretend like I was digging up dinosaur fossils and creating the dinosaurs. So, and you of course drive the vehicle out to the site, you put them in the crates, all of that. So there's lots. So I ended up doing quite a bit of that game as well. Yeah. And then of course we did take a break and we did the, because it takes place at Leduc Rec Center. They're a leisure center that has a whole pile of things in it. It's got hockey arenas, it's got a curling arena, and a swimming pool and all that. So we did take a break and we... Oh yeah, they also have a gym, so we did take a break and we did some swimming. Enjoyed the hot tub, just to kind of ease up those muscles a bit. Sitting in our computer chairs and did kind of our hygiene shower kind of thing at the same time. So that was nice. That's something else that we usually kind of like to do while we're there. They do have kind of the, because it takes place on a indoor soccer field, that's where they're set up on. So they do have locker rooms off of that have showers that we can, that are kind of dibbed for use for us, but we like to go to the pool side of things, just sneak in that hot tub too. So yeah, that's what we did. So that was Frega. That, like I said, is 4 days long, which you think would be a decent amount of time and feel like a decent amount of time, but let me tell you, this year it flew by. Like, 1 minute, I swear it was Thursday and we were setting up and just getting into things, and then the next thing I knew, we were on our Saturday night last night, pretty much getting ready and packing up and calling it another year of the event. So it went by super quick. It was a lot of fun though. We got to chat and kind of hang out with some old friends that we hadn't seen in a while that attend the event. They're all kind of bugging us to go to the Mega FPS event in November. So we'll see. We'll have to see if that's something that's doable, because of course that means having the little man watched during the daytime anyways, that kind of thing. Or the whole weekend, like that one's in town, so I mean we would still be coming home at night, but it would be late nights, weird hours, that kind of thing still. So I don't know. Depends, because that one's just a weekend, like a Friday through Sunday deal. So it would be shorter, but it would still mean having the little guy longer than my parents usually do, which is tiring. So I didn't want to, of course, come back right from that event and be like, hey, do you mind watching him again in like 2 months time kind of thing? Yeah, no. I figured I'd give them a little bit of a break and all that, and they're off to a music thing in Grand Prairie here, and then my aunt's gonna be, aunt from Nova Scotia is gonna, not Nova, oh, she was in Nova Scotia, now she lives in BC, but they're gonna be in town as well for a little bit, so it just wasn't good timing to spring that on her. Yeah, so I figured give her a little bit, let all that kind of settle, then we'll figure out if it's doable or not for us. But yeah, people definitely want us to do that. Let's see, what else happened in that 3-week time frame? I got a Kindle just before we went to Frega. It was actually not supposed to arrive until after we got back from Frega, but it came before. So I was able to set that up, download a couple of books on it, and give it a try while we were out at Frega. When we stay at Frega, they have one of their overflow parking lots set up as kind of like a temporary camping space, so you can set up your RVs, your tents, your trailers, that sort of thing. So we set up a tent trailer and we camp out in the tent trailer, so there's no electricity hookup or anything like that, and we don't run our generators, so having the Kindle was lovely because I didn't need to have a flashlight or anything, and I could still kind of read a chapter before falling asleep, so I was able to give that a whirl. I really actually ended up loving it for that purpose. Yeah, giving that kind of the whirl, and I'm glad I got it. I mostly got it because I take so many books on trips, and then this is kind of a way of reducing how many books I have and having something smaller. And then for purposes like camping, I don't necessarily need to use a light because it's backlit. So yeah, I'm definitely glad I got it. Well worth it so far. Other than that, we got our FSCD caseworker, which FSCD is Families of Child Services and Disabilities, and they're just a funding service where we are for children who have disabilities of any kind of sort. In our case, we get funded to cover our son's food. We have a clothing allowance for him because he was chewing on clothing all the time, and so we were going through clothing like mad. And then it's for things like respite hours, just to kind of get some breaks. If you can get into a respite service, they are the ones that we're covering our specialized services, that sort of thing. So that contract is coming to a close, to an end at the end of this month. So our case manager basically got a hold of us to set up a meeting to renew our contract for what's needed. Obviously, we're probably going to lose our specialized services. That was kind of talked about prior to, but they'll still need to renew, obviously, his food, things like that. So we'll kind of discuss where he's at, what support we kind of need for the next year for him, what that looks like, and then they'll basically work it up, try to get it approved. If it's approved, then they'll let us know, and then they'll send out the contract, we'll sign it and send it back, kind of thing, and then our services will be good for the year. Yeah, so that's coming up. So that's our next little thing that I've booked and have on the go for us. That is, I think, next week. I don't know. It's all blending in together, and all of a sudden August is gone right now. But yeah, that's been set up anyways, so that'll be happening right away here. And my mom's going to join me for that. Make sure I don't forget anything. And just kind of be there to keep the kid out of our hair so that we can get that kind of done as quickly and easily as possible, that kind of thing. So yeah, aside from that, with August coming to an end here also, the kiddo is getting ready to go back to school right away here as well. So I think his first day back is it's weird, it's like a Thursday before a long weekend. But he goes back on the 29th, and so I took him school shopping the other day. He chose out his lunch kit that he wanted, and got a new backpack that he wanted, new water bottle, his supplies, that kind of idea. We ran into one of his old teacher assistants from his last school last year that he just finished up. She was very happy to see him one last time right here at the end of December, just before the kind of school year started up, and she said that they're going to miss him this year. But at the same time, of course, they're just really excited to see him kind of moving on to the next program, getting challenged a little bit more, that sort of thing. But yeah, she was very happy to run into us and had to come over and, of course, say hi. But yeah, so we finished up all of his school shopping. All he needs now is some shoes, because, of course, they like to have indoor shoes. He'll probably also need some outdoor shoes because he's gone through a growth spurt. Very typical, it seems, over the summer he does that. But yeah, and we kind of expected it this summer, so we held off on buying him shoes till kind of the back to school. Yeah, so basically have that to do. My mom is strange. Her and my son love to go shoe shopping, the two of them together. So I saved that for her. And yeah, so they're going to go shoe shopping. We'll have to get that in before he starts school, so I'm not sure when yet we'll be doing that, but I'll have to schedule that with her, of course. Make sure he gets his shoes happening. But yeah, that is about it for him, for what he needs, because we kind of got everything else, which is awesome. I feel like I definitely accomplished it a little earlier this year than I did last year. Last year I think we were right down to the wire and there was a lot of things that were picked over. I still found everything he needed, but it wasn't wasn't easy. And it kind of drives me nuts because they'll put things on the list like duotangs, but then they specify specific colors, which drives me nuts. It's like, can I just get him, like, can you just say he needs X amount and to get different colors? Like, does it have to be? Yeah. So, like, every year it seems that he needs a gray, a black, and a red. And do you think for the life of me I can find a gray? Most of the time, no. They're like, for some reason, the hardest color to find. I've found them the last 2 years, thankfully, at Dollarama. But, yeah, so little things like that. Anyways, so he's gonna get ready to go back to school. I think he's excited. He loves his backpack. It's a Mario one. So it's got all the different Mario characters on it. And then to keep his name on it and mark it, I ended up getting a luggage tag of the Mario mushroom and putting his name and phone number and attaching it to his backpack that way. So yeah, I thought that would be kind of like a fun way to have his name on there, because we send him on the bus. So that is him getting ready for school. That's only like, I think, about 2 weeks away, which I can't believe summer's almost over, but at the same time I'm very happy because that means my days will free up and I will have more time to diamond paint and film some of these stuff. Tips and tricks and tutorial wise that I've been wanting to do, that I've been itching to do, and getting back into some of those more crafty things that I like to do for the channel. Yeah, so definitely looking forward to that. Definitely. Yeah. Other than that, at the end of the month, it sounds like the hubby is going to be going into a shutdown again. And that means for him that he'll be working 6 days a week, 10-hour days, and he'll be doing that for about 6 to 8 weeks. And they're just shutting down the plant, doing maintenance on it, getting it kind of up and running for the next job. Yeah, so that sounds like that's going to be starting up right at the end of the month as well, when the little one goes back to school. So my weekends will kind of really be the Sunday when he's home. My parents, of course, will still be taking him probably the Friday night, so I mean, I'll still get a break that way, but I'll be a little bit more hands-on the weekend for those couple of weeks. Being the parent. A little bit more than when there's 2 of us here, because we can kind of at least spell off when there's 2. But yeah. So that'll be coming up, so that'll keep us busy. Yeah, so that just leaves us with channel stuff, which right now, of course, there is tons of unboxings that are waiting to be edited and uploaded and shared with everybody. So there will be no lack of unboxings coming your way anytime soon. I have filmed, I think, most of them. There's still one that I would like to do that is like a canvas I got through D-Stash. Just to kind of share it. I know it's no longer available, obviously, since I had to get it through D-Stash. But yeah, I still thought it would be a nice one to share, show. That way you can kind of see the canvas, see the colors, that sort of thing. Know that it's in the stash, and eventually when I do work on it, hopefully it'll be somewhat fresh in your mind. If not, then you can go back and watch the video, or watch the video again, or whatever. But yeah, so there's that one that I do want to do, and then I may or may not have been naughty and taken advantage of the anniversary code that Diamond Art Club sent me, which happened to come at the same time that they sent out a survey. And if you filled out the survey, you got a voucher. So yeah, I may have slipped in an order or two and used those. So there will be some kits coming my direction that I'll have to do unboxings for. Yep, I know, bad me. I couldn't help myself. It's been a while. But I did it. So they'll be coming eventually. I just got notice from Witch Casket that the August caskets are out in the mail, so I should get that probably next week sometime. That's my guess. They usually come fairly quickly after they send them up, because we've kind of got that weekend, with it being the Thursday. That's why I figure it'll be next week sometime that we'll see that. But we'll have that to film, and of course get out. The Facebook group is still small, so don't be shy. Head on over, join us there, share your work in progresses, see what other people are working on, start chatting about some of the things you've learned with diamond painting, what you enjoy about it. Ask questions about diamond painting, share other crafts, all that great stuff. Join the community, dive on in, just kind of enjoy other creative like minds. Yeah, we definitely want to see more people over there. And then of course the channel itself is at, last time I checked, 411 subs, which is awesome. We are slowly climbing. My next goal is 500, so we're not quite there yet, but that will be the next giveaway. So definitely share out videos, share out the channel, share the Facebook page, all that wonderful stuff. Let's get this going and growing. And yeah, definitely can't wait for that milestone. You know me, I like to do my little giveaways, but I try to behave and wait for those to reach those milestones too. And I always get itchy right around this point where it's kind of, you know, it's not far, it's there, it's within reach, but it always takes way longer than I want it to get that point. But I know it'll get there, and we'll do the giveaway, don't worry. But let's help it along. If you know somebody who enjoys diamond painting, you think they'll like the channel, like the stuff I share on the channel, like the types of videos I create, all that wonderful things, definitely don't hesitate to share that. Yeah, because we just want to see that climb so we can reach those milestones and those goals and kind of celebrate together as a community, and so I can sneak in those giveaways and give back to all you wonderful subscribers of mine. Yeah, so that's kind of really about it for the channel. Nothing too crazy. Summer kind of, because the kid is home, it kind of slows down a bit for me in that sense. Focuses kind of shift a little bit, but I still kind of get out content. Yeah. But yeah. So definitely, like I said, with him going back, so that's about in 2 weeks time-ish, so we're looking at it probably September. You'll hopefully start seeing some more tips, tricks, tutorials, maybe start seeing some of those crafty projects again, as well as my normal diamond painting, whip chats, ghostly echoes, all those wonderful things. Those will still be happening. None of that will change, of course. But yeah, I think that is it for this wip&chat. There's nothing really else that I can think to add without babbling on and on and on. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I of course will see you in the next one with something new. Bye.